You are listening to episode 30 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing on this Thursday evening?
Dirty 30 already? That's crazy. I'm doing good, man. Chilling, ready to talk some wrestling. We had a good pay-per-view, long pay-per-view, and we had a pretty good show. Dynamite after. Just excited to talk wrestling with you, my friend.
Whole lot of AEW this week, as always, but with the pay-per-view and or following TV, I should say. But we don't gotta waste any time. We could dive right into it. This was AEW WrestleDream coming from the Chaffetz Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. I always lead off with the same question. Did you watch any of the pre-show?
I did watch the pre-show, actually. I had a buddy come over, and we watched the, what's it called, the tailgate brawl now. It's no longer the buy-in or whatever. I just gotta let me bring up the run sheet, because I don't really remember much from it, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it opened with the 8-man.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, Conglomeration and Death Riders, 4-4. This was not stepped up like the women's tag last month, but it didn't need to be. I actually thought this was a lot of fun. I did not watch this live because, I drew my line in the sand with All In. And that came back to bite me, which we'll talk about just a little bit. But I ended up going back and watching this, I want to say Monday night. And I would say, not counting the Jet Speed FTR match, because I was kind of on both, this was really the one to, if you're going to catch anything from this was the match to watch.
Yeah, I tuned in after the match had already started. I went back and watched it the day after when I watched the pay-per-view. I'm with it. My buddy, who hasn't watched AEW in a while, was very confused as to why Daniel Garcia was in the Death Rider, so then I had to break that down for him. That was a fun time. But the new Conglomeration music video, or the video package.
Yeah, the 90s sitcom.
Oh, great. And then Roddy's just mad the whole time.
Yeah, and speaking of Roddy being mad, I was just obviously looking forward to all the individual matchups here, and I love that just 10 seconds into this match, he trucks Daniel Garcia.
Destroyed him. Hit him with the truck stick, Madden style.
Yeah. And I think I need that single soon, man. I don't know when, but they're keeping this feud going between Conglomeration and Death Riders. I would love a singles between them. That's got Collision main event written all over it, but I'm here for it. This was a lot of fun though. Roddy, I think, stood out to me the most, and I'm glad that they're, even in multi-mans, he's just being featured more on TV, because he was kind of in the Collision bubble for a while with the Paragon stuff.
Yeah, this misery signals one time, man. Come on.
Yeah, maybe if he turns heel in Conglomeration, that's a good opportunity to do that.
That's true. A guy can dream. So
yeah. But yeah, other than that, the women's tag felt supplementary to especially what we're getting on TV soon. And then FTR Jet Speed, it's so strange because clearly how they set this up, the tailgate brawl half did not reflect the pay-per-view half. They mapped it out to where, okay, we're just kind of easing into this, and then as soon as they switched to the pay-per-view feed, then they started going nuts.
Yeah, they went crazy.
So I stopped watching these live, as I said, and if you're listening, you didn't see the intro to WrestleDream, they did it to where they joined in progress, essentially. They went over their time. So pay-per-view intro, pyro's going off, both tag teams are swinging in the ring, and honestly, I'm surprised that AEW hasn't tried this yet.
Yeah, and it was kind of crazy. You texted me, you're like, hot start into the pay-per-views, strange way to... I think you texted me that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, because I texted you and said, hey, I was half right. The Costco guys were on the pre-show.
Yeah.
I was half right. I wasn't dreaming this. Yeah, but it was a great start into it. The pyro going off made it more intense.
Yeah, I said. Oh, I skipped over.
Oh, yeah, we skipped
Frat House versus.
Yeah, there's a reason
Kingston
you skipped over that. It's fine.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah,
nothing. It was squash. But so I guess this counts as the opener. It kind of is. It kind of isn't. But once that they got the cue that they were on the pay-per-view, yeah, they just went nuts.
They started doing a shootout in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, the one thing that did confuse me, though, is they basically did the same finish from their first match.
Yeah, I noticed that too. To a T, right?
Yeah, Like there's Stokely grabbing the leg. So I don't know if we're gonna get something where it's like steel cage, which this doesn't seem like the feud for that, or maybe like Stokely in a shark cage above the ring.
That seems more. They haven't
Yeah,
done one of those in a while. Or
I think you're gonna get some sort of gimmick match for the third one where Stokely's compromised in some way, shape, or form. But there's a lot to like with this pairing. I think the way that this started on the pay-per-view feed benefited the show. It might have not benefited this matchup, if that makes sense.
that makes sense. Are we just? I mean, I know they're probably just holding up, but are we just done with the Edge thing? Like, what's going on here?
I guess it depends on how much time he's taking off. Because I mean, you still have two pay-per-views left.
I mean, World's End maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, they're saving it for us, you know.
saving it for us, saving it for the big dogs.
But yeah, really fun opener. Obviously, they were just going for fireworks, literally and figuratively, to just get this crowd hot, and it was hot for the majority of the night.
I see people bashing this start though. Made no sense, but okay.
I think that has to do with people being conditioned to seeing one way, you know, because, you know, I mean, we'll call it for what it is. There was a lot of like chills in that regard.
Yeah,
I think what it really was is AW trying something different. And I don't know, I thought it was a cool idea. It worked for me. I didn't think it came off as like Bush League or unprofessional. They're saying, this is a wrestling match. If they go over their time, we're going to let it go to the finish. You know, when people were asking for sports-based presentation, all that, well, that kind of files into this, you know?
yeah, yeah. I just don't understand. It's unnecessary hate, you know.
I mean, I think there are some problems with this show. I did not think the way that the show started was one of them. There's a give and take with this, though, that I think we could go into the next match, unless you got anything else on
I got
FTR
it.
Jet Speed.
I got it. This is a good match. Go check it out.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
This was a solid pre-show, to be fair. For the
Yeah, definitely more substantial. I mean, even with like the last one, you know, like something like the Workhorsemen getting squashed by Joe and Hobbs, like that's something where like I'm gonna nerd out over like a good squash match, you know, with like guys that we like. But if you're looking for just more substance in the matches, like there was really only one squash on here. So I think as a lead-in, this was a little bit more substantial than the All Out show. The thing though, the decision here to open the show like this, while you have Tekla Jamie Hayter like positioned as your sanctioned opener, does feel a little strange to me, simply because they're making a point to feature this division a whole lot more with this tournament, with having 3 women's matches on a pay-per-view for the first time in a while, if ever. I don't have my facts straight on that one, but it's almost like a mixed signal. Because if the point is to showcase the depth of your division, showcase the investment you've put into the women's division this year, which I think they've done a pretty good job with, why not just have the pay-per-view open with the pyro and then hit Jamie Hayter's rave music?
yeah, I didn't think about that way. I mean, I had a lot of. We'll get into Dynamite about that tournament because I got a little confused at first.
Yeah.
But this match here, though, I fucked with it. The team of Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter is also something I didn't know I needed, but I'm here for it.
Without stepping too far into TV, they should win the whole damn thing, in my opinion. But I don't think they will, though.
Yeah, it's like they should. I don't know who. We'll get there. We'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah, so bell time wise, it's the FTR Jet Speed tag went 12:19, but obviously it's divvied up. Another contentious point with this show for a lot of people was the bell times of the matches, which I tend to agree with, but I didn't necessarily have the issue with Jamie Hayter Tekla. I think, again, the point is investment. The point is giving this division more. You know, you are going to have people taking inventory on the times here. Hayter and Tekla get 15:35, and that's about right for an AEW opener. A lot of times they get more than that. So if this is positioned as your quote-unquote opening match, your official opening match, this is in line with that. And I think for the time given, they made it work. We knew it was going to be physical. It was very hard-hitting. And I think this is more for Tekla, despite the fact that she lost, that they have big plans for her because she's not in the tag tournament.
Yeah, the Scott Blue and Julia Hart with the Hardy Boys pants are
Mill
in
said
the
the
trend.
same thing last night.
That's exactly what I thought it was. She's wearing the trip pants, man. Hot topic.
Just need like the paint splotches on them, and the wallet chains.
That's coming. That's coming next, son.
Yeah, we're getting a wallet chain spot in Blood and Guts.
Sisters of Sin. Uh, this are gonna be hot topic.
I think that there are big things for Tekla in the near future, but Hater getting the win though, the babyfaces needed something here. So, and she's been on a little bit of a roll lately, I think. So, I'm glad to see her doing well. Obviously everything's all good with her health and the visa, and now it feels like we're getting Jamie Hayter back on track. So, depending on how this women's tournament or the tag team tournament goes, we'll see. But do you got anything on this one?
I covered pretty much everything. I'm starting to like Tekla more and more that she gets showcased.
Yeah, because I was a little iffy on her in her kind of late stardom run. I think she's acclimated to American television very well, especially with just how she's presented. She obviously has plenty of opponents who can work in a style that's comfortable with her, Hater being one of them. And, it dawned on me, and this isn't something you're going to see a lot of people talk about just because I don't think, despite what people tell you, it's just I don't think people were paying attention to Stardom over the last couple of years as much as, they might claim. So she was in a faction called Donna Del Mondo, which was Shuri and Julia's faction. She was in a tag team with Julia. I would have never guessed in a million years that she would have gotten a pay-per-view singles match before Julia did in WWE. Not counting NXT. Just because Julia was always seen as, she was world champion there. She had all the hype around her when she came.
Sorry to cut you off, but I will say that not knowing much about Joshi, right? I did hear her name a lot more, like a lot, and I didn't really know much about her. So I guess that makes sense.
She was the one who was always hyped up, and she got the world title run. She got to be the faction leader. Where Tekla was always kind of like a complimentary player there. But Tekla was always, I think, people were harsher on her. Just watching this, it put into perspective. I'm like, holy shit! Like she got the quote unquote pay-per-view opener before Julia got anything on main roster, which I understand all comes down to booking. But it was just crazy for me to see that put into perspective.
But like I said, when Tekla first debuted, she had like a really quick match, and I was like, I don't really know much about her. They've been giving her more and more time, more and more exposure, and that promo she cut, I think it was not last week, maybe the week before, when she said, it was on Jamie Hayter. It was right before the pay-per-view, and where she said, she's just misunderstood or something like that. It was just a good promo.
Yeah, the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's really acclimated to American TV wrestling well. And if you've noticed her first two feuds, like they're putting her with not only capable wrestlers, but those who can kind of match her style. The transition's a lot smoother with Aminata and Hayter, aka ass kickers.
Certified ass beaters.
Yeah, so I think it's efficient stuff. I'm going to be using that word efficient a lot. Not much so in the bell times, but in a lot of the booking. Yeah, we can move on.
Yes,
your boys got the big win and the $500,000.
Yeah, but this match didn't need to be 23 minutes long.
The fuck no, it didn't, man.
Like,
holy!
Can we talk about that? Like, yeah, hey,
yeah,
happy for my boys, but let me tell you something. It could have been a 15-minute match.
Speaking my language, because hear me out. I was pleasantly surprised by this match. This is Jurassic Express defeating the Young Bucks in 23:09 for the $500,000. But so first of all, another great bit from the Bucks with their entrance with the. I'll tell you what, man. This is the most I've ever related to the Young Bucks because we got about the same amount in our bank accounts.
I said, you know what? Are relatable.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be the baby faces here, but
I think that's what they're trying to be now. But
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I was pleasantly surprised with this match because we all kind of knew what it was going to turn into. I did not expect them to be doing the whole like cut the ring in half and getting their heat on Jack Perry for as long as they did. Because when I think of Young Bucks, I don't think of traditional tag team structure, And And I'll tell you what, man, I thought Jack Perry was really good on the receiving end of all that heat.
Yeah, he's a good bumper. Like he's good at taking those
Yeah.
bumps. And I'm starting to slowly think about what I said about the Frankenstein thing. I don't think they're going with that anymore. I
Man,
could.
they gotta just write out this goodwill because
Yeah,
they're
because
getting it from me, even though, which, like, I don't hate Jurassic Express. I actually like Jurassic Express, but like I just didn't know how this was gonna go. But it's been good. I thought Jack Perry, maybe this is just his lane, you know?
yeah, I feel like tag team wrestling, might just be his thing, and that's fine. I mean, that's what people,
Yeah, it takes time to when you're only what? How old is he? 20. Oh, he's 28. Okay, but still, like 30 is not even your wrestling prime. It takes time to figure this stuff out, especially when you try stuff and it doesn't work. Scapegoat stuff didn't work, but he's a little bit older, you know. Obviously has more matches under his belt. Now with that foresight, maybe he just knows, okay, let's go back to this tag stuff and really try to make it work. And I thought this did work. But then when we talked about, before actually talking about the match itself, this was way too long and there just was way too many false finishes.
yeah, PWG match right here. Uh,
Not that all of it was bad though. Like
no, not all.
God, the one spot that blew my mind was the Bucks have been doing that slingshot into the power bomb, like the double stomp, or like flips him, like it's like almost like a catapult.
Yeah,
The Perry flips into the powerbomb position, then immediately does the head scissors to counter. And it's like that's the like cutting edge, high flying stuff that they're always going to do, and they were still able to surprise me in certain regards. And yeah, this was not bad by any means. I enjoyed a great deal of this, but it was just way too.
yeah. It, I still fuck with that countdown to extinction, though.
Yeah, sick finishers. Like honestly,
Yeah, sure, just way too long of a match.
yeah.
But hey,
The post match, I did not like that.
it was weird. That's what I got in my notes. I said, uh, very weird ending. Didn't like it because we said it before that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega have been feuding for the better half of 2 years now. But now all of a sudden uh, I feel like they're teasing. The Bucks are gonna turn face, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that either because this is the most I've enjoyed the Young Bucks in years. It's all but confirmed because WrestlePeers aggregated one of the sites where they were basically like, yeah, we don't have a lot of time in our own careers, and every time we share the ring with Kenny, it's magic, and we just don't have a lot of time, so we're going to do it while we can. So I don't know how soon that is, but it's happening. It's all just very strange, but I'm just happy that, because for a while I'm thinking Blood and Guts is going to be like the Elite and Jurassic Express against Don Callis family, and that makes absolutely no sense like this soon.
Yeah,
Thankfully, it's not the case, at least what they're implying. But yeah, it's a real shame what happened with the Andrade stuff. Because I mean, Kenny was obviously, if Kenny wasn't on the show, I don't think he would have been there. You know?
yeah. Well, we talked about like he didn't even. We were like, oh, he doesn't even have a match, and here we are. Yeah. I just, man, I don't. They don't need to turn the Bucks face. Just leave it be. Stop it.
No, and I think they've done the Elite breakup and get back together thing enough. Like, obviously, if they do their victory lap before they're all done, like, yeah, go for it. But I think there's still a lot that you could do with Kenny as a singles, Bucks as a tag. You know what I mean?
But man, they did it again on Dynamite too. But we'll get to that part.
Yeah. But,
It just
but yeah,
annoys me.
I think we're on. Yeah, of course. I think we're on the same page though. This was a lot of fun. Just like reel it in, and I think them going this long so early into the show kind of hurt the next couple of matches, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially this next one that I thought I was way more hyped for this than I should have been because this was not their best one out of the series.
No, but I still really enjoyed it. This being the Hurt Syndicate defeating the Demand, which I did not expect. This in Tornado Tag Rules. This just felt like that they basically took all the craziness from their previous matches and they just do that the whole time. Like that was the direction.
They said spam everything.
Yeah, which hey, I thought it was sick.
Yeah, Right. But I was like, man, I was like, it wasn't their strongest one though, in my opinion. I also
No,
thought that we were gonna get a turn here, but didn't happen.
no angle, no nothing.
Yeah,
It was just very cut and dry, which is interesting.
because MVP stayed on the apron way too long for me, and I was like, he doing something. But it wasn't. It was cool. You know, Hurt Syndicate won. Shocked me because I thought the Demand would have won. But
Yeah, and it could just be a case of, I mean, I guess you can call it diminishing returns. I'm certainly not sick of it, but it's also like they did this. All these guys have been wrestling each other so much over the last month that maybe it was just a little bit of fatigue. But I still think if this was the last one, I feel like that the man should have won.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, give him. I feel like the Hurt Syndicate would have put him over. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
we'll see.
yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining considering like I did like the match on Wednesday too a bit, but yeah, strange decision. But I mean, again, it felt like they took. If you look at the All Out match, it's like they cut out all of like a lot of the really smart groundwork that they laid out with MVP and the limb work leading to the finish. But it feels like they took that like 5 minute section of where just shit is going insane, and they did it for 13. So there's a lot to like there when you got Toa Leona and Bobby Lashley doing all kind of freak shit, and Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet flying around, and then yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is a good group, and there's a lot of good stuff here, but it's maybe just a little too much as far as the frequency of these matches.
Yeah, and I don't think we're done because that's what happened on Dynamite.
Yeah, damn man, they really are. AEW used to never do rematches, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Because
Rematch
I
city, but
I just thought about it. I was like, wait, how did? Because I had to run it back. I was like, how did the match end on Wednesday? And then I remembered.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, cool match. Don't get me wrong. These two, I feel like they can't miss. But
Too many false finishes on this one too.
oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But wrong guy won.
Like full on throw criticism out the window here. I think I felt deflated in the match because I talked myself into Mark Briscoe winning.
I did. Me and you last week hype central for Mark Briscoe. We were like, we got this. It's time. It's his time. I mean,
Hear me
great,
out.
it was a great match. Don't get. It was a great. These two cannot miss. And Mark Briscoe took so many brainbusters on his fucking head.
Yeah. Full context here. Kyle Fletcher successfully defended the TNT title against Mark Briscoe once again in 24:45. At this point, the longest match on the show, if you could believe that. What I think, because you talk about the match going too long, you talk about the false finishes. When Mark kept kicking out, I started to just get the wheels spinning, and I kept telling myself, well, if he's kicking out of all this shit, then he has to win. He did not.
Certainly did not.
The turnbuckle brainbuster, though, dude, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That looked amazing and terrible at the same time.
Shout out El Generico.
Yeah, that was the El Generico spot. But yeah, these two, I mean, Briscoe, I've said it once, I'll say it again. These two just, Mark Briscoe's able to get the best out of Fletcher from both a working heel point of view, and they both can go crazy physically. So one thing where the match length does benefit things here was that I absolutely loved how like Fletcher really took his time to milk as much heat as he possibly could in those first 5 to 7 minutes. He stalled the fuck out of this crowd, and it actually worked.
It was great.
Like the foundation, the pieces here with these two are it's so like Teflon at this point. But I did think that again, and I don't want to just. It's easy to just say that the matches are too long and there's too many false finishes. This case, I just think it really hurt because logically you're thinking, well, Briscoe's kicking out of everything. He's just not going to lose. Like he has to win. He has to, right? And then I take it away from you. I think I prefer the February match now that I've seen it to the two pay-per-view matches actually. But what I appreciate about this feud, I don't really count the first one because that was a Ring of Honor TV match, and that was before Fletcher's turned into the Protostar. But if you look at everything else, all the matches they've had are different and provide different things. So like the Continental Classic match, you could also like it's that's when Fletcher was really growing into himself here. But the 3 that they've had this year, the February match is TV main events. They got plenty of time, but Briscoe he bladed and it was just like a gusher. So you have that element into it. The Dynasty match was just basically a sprint, but it ruled. And this is the epic of that series. And I think depending on your taste, you might like different ones, like different matches for different reasons. But I could bring this up now because we'll talk about it with the main event. But Missouri's Athletic Commission blading is a no-no. So that would explain the lack of blood, because I'm thinking, when I saw this going long, I'm like, damn, I'm surprised Briscoe didn't gig here, because that's kind of what he does in these scenarios. But yeah, I don't want to talk in circles too much, but you can't go wrong here. I think that, and again, it's good when pro wrestling does this, but I really believed he was going to win, man.
But there's another rematch coming, so hey, we'll be there.
He kind of has to now.
Yes, I'm telling you, if he does it next time, then what? You know what I'm saying? You can't keep putting on these bangers and expect me to not think my boy about to win this time.
Especially coming out of the MJF match, because it finally felt like he got that big win to propel him into something,
I mean, when he does win that title, MJF's going to come back and beat the dog piss out of him. But hey, it'll be worth it.
He's still got that world title contract, though.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Never mind.
I think MJF's going to come back to feud with Hangman, if not at the end of this year, then early next year. But yeah, really, really good match. Just, again, too long, and in my opinion, the wrong winner.
Right. Life goes on. It was a good match.
Hey, we live to fight another day.
He's going to win that title next time.
I hope so, man.
Every time Mark Briscoe goes for that title, my prediction is Mark Briscoe's winning that belt.
Yeah. You got anything else on this one, man?
That's the women's world title match.
I'm going to preface this by talking about the next 2 matches, actually.
Perfect.
Because they dovetail into each other. I don't really know how to feel about this block of the show, because from a booking perspective, it's actually really smart, but I think it hurt both of the matches and the show to a degree. So what I mean by that is Stat winning, like convincingly winning, is exactly what needed to happen. Mercedes beating Mina, that didn't have to happen on the show.
Not at all.
However, what you effectively did was establish Chris Statlander as the world champion that she should have been a long time ago. And you did everything you needed to do to bring Tony and Mina together for the tournament. And you got that interim belt off of her. So this was like a whole half-hour block of housekeeping. So when you zoom out, this all makes perfect sense to me. But the Mercedes Mina match did not need to happen on the show. I'm sorry. But I also think that following the really long Fletcher Briscoe match, the crowd was dead for the Stat Tony match.
Yeah, the crowd was deflated for sure. And it was a good match too. It went a great time. Solid.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was a good match for Chris's first title defense.
And defeating Tony like this decisively, though. Nobody's done that.
Like, Tony Storm's going to be in the tag tournament. So, but the Mercedes match for sure did not. I'm going to be transparent. I didn't see this match even in my second playthrough because I was doing something. Just because I didn't need to see it. I knew the outcome.
It was fine. I don't mind this pairing because, again, Mercedes knows what to do with what Mina does in these title matches. Just for whatever reason, I adored their first match in January in Japan. I just don't think they've been able to scratch those heights since. I had in my drafts too, because I was like really trying to think, okay, when they announced that it's going to be open challenge and it has to be a champion, people are calling for like Shuri and Saya Kamatani and all these other wrestlers from other companies. The problem with that being is that Saya is one of the most protected wrestlers in the world right now. She's just not losing any of her belts anytime soon. And they just did the title switch with Shuri for the women's IWGP. So it's way too soon for her to lose.
I can tell you, I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be Nyla Rose.
Yeah, it's not who I thought it was going to be.
Because she's the Pro Wrestling Eve champion.
I thought it was going to be Athena.
That would have been awesome. I think we're going to get there again with
Yeah,
this.
It makes sense now in retrospect, but
Yeah,
I was just like, why not? Because run it back.
yeah. I didn't necessarily have an issue with this match. I just felt very strange to do an impromptu match like this on pay per view. You want Mercedes on the like advertised for the pay per views and stuff. That's all fine and good. But for a show that went over time and we're all like the majority of the matches went long, I don't know if tacking on a 16-minute match was the right call.
Absolutely not, especially since the next match goes damn near a half hour.
Yeah. Uh Now in the moment, I was pretty upset that we're doing Stat Monet again. Because again, it's that thing I talked about in the All In build where both of your champions are tied in, or well, both your champions are tied up. What does that leave everybody else, right? But when I zoomed out, I was like, damn, like this tournament's pretty much all hands on deck.
That's why I said the tournament is like after they released the bracket, it was stacked. So it makes sense now. It's given the women, a showcase finally.
And I'm pretty sure all of the people in Blood and Guts are in the tournament right now as well. Oh, damn near everybody. I think Tekla will be in Blood and Guts. But like Hater and Aminata,
Willow and Harley.
everybody else kind of has their hands tied for once. So running back Statlander and Monet works. For the match themselves, though, again, I love how they booked Stat Tony. I just don't know if the card placement was right for it.
And you don't need, like, the Mercedes thing was,
yeah, it's supplemental. Yeah, it's fine to say that.
So I have a question. So when do you think the downfall happens? Like, when does she start finally losing? Does it start with, like, the TBS title, and then it just downfalls from there?
Probably next year, because you have one pay-per-view after Full Gear. Full Gear might be the first, like, crack in the armor. Because I think what they're doing is she has all these belts, but she can't win the big one.
Yeah.
She couldn't beat Tony. They're building up Stat as this unbeatable force. You know what I mean? If you beat Tony Storm and Mercedes Monet, the two people who have been the faces of this division all year, you beat them on back-to-back shows. But that's the thing, though. She couldn't beat Tony. If she fails to beat Chris, I believe those are her only losses, are world title matches.
So it's like she can never get the big one.
And then eventually when she loses all these belts, it gives her something to chase. So I really like this booking, all things considered. Just the placement on the card and obviously having the Mina match in general. Then you ask why you putting the interim women's world title on her. Well, there's a Red Velvet match you could run on Final Battle.
Okay.
And if you put Mercedes Monet on Ring of Honor, people will watch it, people will go to the shows. That's just what she does. Like, her fans are extremely dedicated, to put it lightly.
Absolutely. And she's in that big matches, she's always big match Monet.
Yeah, so like this all works for me as far as the booking. Just an execution, maybe not so much. Yeah, we can get into this one, the big one. This was the longest match on the show, actually.
Shout out to my dogs.
Brodito successfully defend against Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita in a whopping 27 minutes, 26 seconds to successfully defend the AEW World Tag Team titles. Yeah, I mean, I'm in some circles where people absolutely hated this match. I did not. I liked a great deal of this. Again, it was just really long. But if you look at this match and you look at the Wednesday match, it really just feels like Okada's just getting back into shape to have this Takeshita marathon.
Yeah, it looks like they're like trial runs, Shout out Brody King finally doing the Macarena.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out the way.
Yeah, man. Payoff to the huge angle, right?
I for sure thought Okada and Takeshita were winning these belts. I think we both thought that.
Yeah, and it feels like if you put the belts on them, I think you get some mileage on the slow burn. This ain't no slow burn anymore. Takeshita's on smoke.
Yeah, on sight.
And
can we get his old theme music back though? Because I'm tired of hearing this Nitro theme.
Okada's music grew on me, I think.
No, I'm talking about Takeshita's. Okada's,
dude, he comes out to the DDT music like on New Japan shows.
Uh,
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know why they did this
all I
stock
know,
music.
yeah, they give him the WCW Nitro theme on Dynamite, like, but yeah, I can't wait for that match. And shout out to Takeshita winning that belt too. I know we already said it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't gotten there yet as far as
yeah,
like actually seeing the match, but
me either. But I heard good things. Good things.
I like the Zack Takeshita G1 match, so I don't see why I wouldn't like the title match. Yeah, real interesting pairing there, just with their styles. But this, okay, first really important part, and obviously they had a long TV main event, so we could just assume that Bandito's okay.
Yeah,
The shoulder brace was off, and they did the kinesio tape, which if that's just for if that was legitimate or just for visual purposes, it really worked because it gave Okada and Takeshita like a palpable target for the whole match, and they really took their time working the shoulder. That worked. Like I like that. I enjoyed that. So that all worked for me. I'm really happy this Brodito run's gotten the mileage that it has, and it's going to keep going. Again, this is all like this. Lack of better words, AEW doesn't really have like designated B shows. If you like really look at this card top to bottom, this was like a middle of the road for the booking. But I think they really tried to get the most out of the individual matches themselves. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go back and rewatch this. I might at the end of the year just to kind of confirm. Like I don't know. Like I watched this in the moment. I didn't take any notes on it, so I don't know if you got anything to say on it.
I got. The only thing I would say is I'm also glad this wasn't like a flash in the pan kind of title victory run here. Uh, I'm interested to see where we go. Like, who's going to be the team that take them off the throne?
Yeah, because I don't think you do Jurassic Express Brodito, and I think now we can.
Unless you do someone else from the Don Callis family.
I think it's too soon to tell. I would not be surprised due to just the past if we don't see Jurassic Express and Edge and Christian in the same bubble.
I mean, they're going to cross paths eventually.
I just don't think that has anything to do with Brodito, though. This might sound stupid, but just to go back to the match.
There's a way. There's a way.
No, I just meant not talking about the future of the belts. I just meant one more comment on the actual match.
All right.
It did feel like the Okada match structure, but dropped into a tag match with that real slow burn and then like the big crescendo at the end.
Shout out to Bandito for pinning Okada though. That's huge.
I believe him and Fletcher are the only two to do it in his AEW run.
That's crazy.
Well, Brian too. I mean,
that's Brian.
That's Brian. Yeah. Brian didn't pin him. He submitted him, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it was Fletcher in the C2 and then and Bandito, which I mean, look what they did with Fletcher this year. I mean, once the Bandito singles run is just that's going to probably just be next year, especially if Ospreay's out for a very long time.
I hope he's okay. I hope he's good.
Yeah, surgery went well from what I've seen.
So my theory though about the tag belts now, it's FTR, and then FTR beats Brodito. FTR faces Edge and Christian, right? Probably some. Yeah. And then that's how they get involved in somehow Jurassic Express. That's how they cross paths with Edge and Christian, and bada boom.
Yeah, I see that.
Just hire us, AEW. We know what we're doing.
Yeah. One day we'll get the book, but
one day, and then everyone's doing the Macarena.
Dude, Okada doing it, flipping the bird is awesome.
That was the greatest fucking thing.
It's awesome how like he's getting back to like Rainmaker Okada, like having the long ass like prestige wrestling matches,
but he's still being. Yeah. I just go back to I pressed the wrong button. That was the funniest one ever. That's gonna live with me forever. I'm so sorry, bitch. Like, oh, great.
You know, I'm in the process of I'm basically channels. I'm closing up shop till next year. Just with everything, I'm not gonna have time to have a full ass video out. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Well, I'll just push through. I'm doing my match of the year, rest of the year research, and I'm watching. It was like the Collision before Revolution, and they do the cold open where the people are cutting promos. They like had him bump into Brody King backstage.
I remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He just, oh man.
Yeah, cowered down, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just that real deadpan
yeah.
smirk on his dude. Yeah, Okada's. Think he found his footing in AEW this year for sure.
Yeah, I just don't think he needs to be locked in with the Don Callis stuff, but it makes sense.
Yeah, this is just a matter of just there's not enough room for these two
That's yeah,
kind of alphas, no pun intended.
yeah.
But I think Takeshita's gonna break free and turn face, um, when this whole ordeal goes down. Moving along to the world title match. Hangman Adam Page successfully defends against Samoa Joe. 19 minutes 2 seconds.
Perfect time for this match, by the way. See, this match right here is a good time.
Yeah, and my only complaint was that it was obvious that this was not going to be the only match. The angle got me genuinely, but I think they were wrestling it to where it did feel like they were holding back to a certain degree. But I did not necessarily think this was a bad match. I thought this was a good match. They did a lot of things I liked. But before I unpack all that, what do you think of the title match, my friend?
Yo, I liked it. The Samoa Joe turn didn't get me. The Hobbs and Shibata turn got me. I didn't see that happening. Especially
Gotcha.
Shibata. I didn't see Shibata turn heel, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where they go from here now because the promo that they cut on Dynamite was good, But
Mm-hmm.
it is looks like we are gonna not to spoil, but it looks like we are gonna get another Joe Hangman match somewhere down the road.
You gotta think it's stepped up too, right?
I would for sure. Like what kind of stip though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beats me because it's not like the ops interfered. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's a good match. This Adam Page run is a lot. Like I've been fucking with it, so I'm glad this didn't let me down.
Yeah, I'm with you. There were just like certain things as far as Samoa Joe being an obstacle worked so well in this match. Like I loved how obviously you knew we were gonna get the nope spot at some point, right?
Yeah,
But it was like Hangman showing his work in a way of trial and error to actually land the move. How many times did it take? But he never stopped. Like it wasn't like it wasn't like, hey, we're gonna redo the spot. It's no, Joe is ready. What do I have to do to make sure I could use everything in my arsenal? All that shit on the outside I really loved. And to a certain degree with the finish too, because he had to hit like Joe tanking all the buckshot lariats, and then Hangman having to like kind of feed off of the crowd to actually like pull it off. Really good babyface stuff. The one thing though that I asked for and maybe necessarily didn't get was that I didn't really feel at any point that Hangman was going to lose.
yeah.
I liked how they set this feud up. Don't get me wrong. He just had an issue, but now that Joe's going full heel, now it's time to get nasty.
Give me heel Joe all the time. Like this is gonna be, and then heel Hobbs now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
heel
how.
ops is not something I expected, but I'm here for it.
I don't know how a heel Shibata. I don't know if he was ever heel because I'm not indulged in New Japan like that. But I'm interested.
Shibata was always just kind of his own guy. I would say he was heel because he left. Like at a very, very, very important time in the company. Like he just dipped. That's why his matches with Tanahashi were like not shoot, but like there was a lot of real life shit between them. He dipped at the time where the company was really suffering, and then when Bushiroad bought them, and like that was right before the peak happened, and like 20 he came back in like late 2012, so he was seen as somebody who dipped during the hard times and came back when the money was there. Really intriguing stuff.
My man said, "I'm about my money."
Mm-hmm. I mean, he like dipped. He was working like Big Mouth Loud and shit like that, and then he did MMA for a while.
When did he get? When did he get hurt? Well, when did he?
Brain stuff.
Yeah.
The Okada match,
Okay.
2017. So he never shied away from shoot headbutts, and that kind of came back to haunt him. And like he did like just the sickest one imaginable in the Okada match, to where like it was like on contact bleeding, and he collapsed when he got to the back. Like he collapsed and he was paralyzed. He had a subdural hematoma.
Sheesh.
Yeah, no, none of us expected him to to wrestle ever again.
Yeah, I remember like hearing about it. I just never know what happened to cause that. Crazy.
It was either the year or two after they were doing Sumo Hall show, and just unannounced, like they played his music. He came out and he took a back bump and he goes, "I'm alive."
All right,
Yeah, you would adore pre-injury Shibata.
I'll dive in. I'll indulge myself here.
Just the all-time ass kicker, just no nonsense. And I think heel Shibata is like I gotta see him start killing people, but I just don't know if he's gonna go that far.
And give him his full entrance music back.
Oh yeah, need the whole acoustic intro.
I need the acoustic intro, everything.
Did I tell you? Did I say on the show about my experience at the first Forbidden Door?
Possibly.
I'll say it again real quick, but I needed to step out for a minute, but Orange Cassidy and Osprey were tearing down the house, and then as soon as the bell rang, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go. Like I gotta just step out for a minute, handle my business, get a beer, and I'm in the United Center concourse, and I hear that fucking guitar riff, and I don't think I've ran that fast in my.
No, yeah, I popped when I was there.
Not think Shibata was gonna be involved in that shot. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I'm excited to see what this is for the stable though, because I mean Hobbs. I think Hobbs is surprisingly good as a babyface, just because like Hobbs is a heel, like that's easy. Like he's just like look at him.
Yeah, he could be mean.
So yeah, this really works. I'm excited to see, and we'll talk about it into TV. But a good match, but I think these two have a great one in them, and I hope that's what we get next.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, well, we'll talk about when we get to TV. I got
Yeah. Speaking of great matches, though, are you ready to get into the main event?
Oh, my match of the night.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
This was this was everything that I wanted it to be. Even without because you couldn't blade, right? So I mean, this is everything I wanted.
I closed the show in our predictions last week saying, just looking at the material, reading the text, Jon Moxley had to quit. And he did in 25:54 to Darby Allin. My goodness. I might still prefer the casket match. I'll be real. I'm going to A-B them. They're both going to be on my top 30. I would be shocked if they aren't. But the Jon Moxley control segment for the good bulk of this match. This is some of his career work, dude. He was so good in this match, dude. Holy fuck. And he played his character to a T. Because we can go down the grocery list of the depraved acts he committed. But let me ask you this first, because this is kind of the talking point here. Obviously, they were out of time, so like we didn't get to really soak in the catharsis of Darby winning. Did the finish feel rushed to you?
Yeah, because they didn't give him really time to say anything. It was just
Yeah. It got put into perspective for me, and I bookmarked it because I do want to give this person credit. Because I didn't think of this at first. I just figured they're out of time. But I like the match so much more reading this. And this is the best part about wrestling is you have these conversations and when you actually talk about shit, not just, whatever the hell people talk about on the internet. This is from Ash Stabbeth on Twitter. This was just in I either got retweeted or my For You page. I've never seen this person before, but this is such an awesome point to make. They said, did anyone say anything about how Moxley wasn't giving up because of the submission hold as much as he was giving up on making Darby Allin give up? Simply put, he knew there was nothing he could do to win this match. And he just said, fuck it, I'm done.
yeah.
That is amazing.
It bled over at the TV too. Check.
I loved the finish of the TV match too. But we got to unpack all this shit first, man. I'll be honest, I wanted fire. And I just don't know if they're allowed to do it. Then you got to start asking, why would you tease it and then book it in a place where you can't do it? But for these two to have their hands tied and still pull off the shit that they did, but the combination, all of the handwork with the steps and the meat skewers under the fingernail, I've talked about it plenty of times on my channel. I've talked about it plenty on this show. You might not know what it feels like to be put through a table, but you know what it feels like to jam your hand into something. So that's very relatable pain. Like pain relativity is very important when it comes to selling. So again, with Darby Allin, it's like I don't know what the fuck it feels like to get thrown 20 feet from the ring to the announce table, but I do know what it is to have like, like to jam my finger into a door or whatever, and it sucks. So when Darby's doing all of it, it's like it's hard for that to not resonate with you. Claudio doing the U-turn though.
Yeah. When he bounced like a basketball off of this. God, Jesus Christ. I audibly gasped when he threw him into that table.
Dude, I was cackling. And like they did this shit like a while ago, but just that small diversion, that little, just the, I'm gonna put, oh, fuck it, we're going to the big
Yeah.
table.
He said, nah. But, God, it had, and then the fish tank.
Yeah, so again, I think we called our shot last week. I said, we're probably gonna see something in a wrestling match that we've never seen before. And I know that, now, granted, I think there was like the Piranha death match in Japan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I saw clips of it, but like mainstream American television wrestling, I did not have an attempted drowning on my bingo card.
I said, what are they doing? They're gonna waterboard him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it had everything. This match had everything I needed.
Again, though, this got my hopes up because like when they broke the tank and they're both covered in water, I'm like, holy fuck, they're gonna do the fire now, and then they never did. So that was me overshooting my expectations.
But then Grandpa came out. Grandpa
Yeah,
got
I mean, that's like the spiritually correct, like Sting making the save. If you're ever going to do it, I think this was the match to do it.
his beard looked crazy.
I think like it came off as like,
No,
holy fuck, like you committed enough sins to get old man Sting to come back.
yeah, and then like the look on Mox's, he was terrified,
For like traditional pro wrestling bullshit, this was perfect.
and he didn't take a bump. So that's all. We didn't need Sting to take a bump here.
No, again, I love how this was done because this was Darby's match. He goes, here, finished it, dude. Like, finish the job, dude. Sting cleaned house as far as like Death Riders, and then Darby did what he did. At the moment, I did feel the finish was sudden, but I think since switching the max, they probably have like an absolute hard out of 12:30 Eastern. Again, though, this is the company that went overtime and they cut Sting's goodbye promo, so like nothing's off the table. But my only like complaint, obviously, was like, look, we don't get to choose where the match takes place. If I had that choice, it would happen like whatever is equidistant between my house and your house. That's where the match would have taken place.
Because I would be front row. Like,
yeah,
my eyes were. I watched this match twice. All right. Like,
yeah, I have not rewatched it yet.
I watched it and I had to show somebody else. I'll say, hey, I had almost witnessed murder. Someone else has to witness murder. Okay, so like I told you before we started recording, the only spot that I cringed for was some skewers.
Gross. Needed something though. I mean, I get that they couldn't bleed here. I think it's testament though to how good Jon Moxley is when he is limited, because Washington has similar rules. Like he didn't get to bleed, or Danielson didn't get to bleed in his last match, and Moxley still made it like torturous. So what a wrestler, man. It's strange though that, I'm assuming that they're just gonna stick everybody into blood and guts now, because this is just what Moxley does. He's a bit of a kingmaker. He's done it with Hangman multiple times. I think this was a kingmaker match for Darby Allin, but it's like, where can you propel him from here? I don't think you're gonna necessarily have him wrestle Hangman unless MJF beats him, and then you're running Darby MJF next year.
That seems to probably be the money match right there, because that's 2 of your pillars,
Yeah, and they already have an established feud, so
because
yeah,
you do the rest of the Death Riders feud for the rest of the year, finish that off somehow. Bada boom. But then where do you go with the Death Riders after that? Like, does Mox finally take a break? Does Mox finally get that vacation he's been trying to take for the past 5 years? Like,
I was like, yeah, I'm like, well, that's probably it for Mox for a while, and then here he is on Wednesday.
Here he is on Wednesday just punching referees in the face.
I think that's something that it just isn't getting praised enough. I mean, people who are like, we're all fully on the Mox Wrestler of the Year train now. Like, I think it's undeniable if he finishes the year, like if he works the rest of the year, right? If he has another really good feud between now and World's End, like, dude, it has to be him. But from just a storytelling perspective, like, all of the signs were there from the casket match. It was such an undecisive win, and you knew he was fucked. So then when he actually did quit, like it was just like, oh my goodness, like perfection. The only thing I wish that we would have gotten was just like maybe another minute or two just to soak it in. Because man, when Darby got the win, they told him, "Get your ass on the corner post. We're fading out."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, lovely match. Definitely going to be on my big list whenever I actually watch everything. I can't wait to AB this and the casket matches because I get to watch these matches again. So yeah, Darby Moxley. This has gone down. I think this is one of AEW's best feuds they've ever done.
Shout out to Claudio for tossing him like a lawn dart. God.
That's one of the most watchable, like rewatchable clips. That I rewatched like 30 times.
I could just, yeah, just, oh, that and the body bag spot he did with Brian Cage. Those are my two.
Yeah. Don't forget the Swan Dive and the Sting match.
Through the glass after the, he
Yeah.
moved like 5 seconds prior. Or he moved so much. You didn't have to jump, bro.
Nah, I always said like people like, why'd you do that? I'm like, this is Sting's last match on pay per view. I go, Darby's gonna do something
Yeah, but
so
Sting didn't do it.
I'm pretty sure he went through glass in the ring.
He did.
Oh my goodness!
And then he drove through the table. But like, be happy because I guarantee that was talked about. I guarantee.
Yeah, WrestleDream though, I'd say it's a good show.
Good, not great.
Yeah, it's a, like low B tier, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably better watching things isolated.
Should have been on during the afternoon, but hey.
This is my only concern, like, because, 2 shows left in their pay-per-view catalog of 2025. I understand getting more bang for your buck, but I hate the fact that I've left, like, 3 or 4 of these shows this year where I'm like, yeah, you're better off watching these matches isolated than watching this as a full show. I'll tell you what, though, for this one going past 4 hours, I do think this actually flown better than previous ones.
Like the match structure, like was good. Timing horrible, but structure-wise, good.
Maybe just trim the fat a little bit on this one.
Yeah, like maybe not have random title changes or title matches, even just randomized. But I mean, neither here nor there. Good, not great. Main event was everything I want in my television programming.
Yeah. So that was AEW WrestleDream. Now we can head into television, which was from San Antonio, Texas, the Boeing Center, actually.
This venue looked awesome.
Yeah, and the AEW Texas crowds are always great. So this was a really fun atmosphere, and honestly, even though we said at the beginning of the show they were like, or maybe it was off air, it really does feel like they're retreading a lot of these feuds or just kind of milking everything from already established feuds. But just as a 2-hour TV wrestling show, I think the matches on this night delivered for damn near all of them.
Absolutely. It started off hot and it ended hot.
Yeah. We don't got to go through everything with the fine tooth comb, but to just general thoughts on, we'll run through the whole show, but just shoot the shit here. Opening with the Hurt Syndicate versus the Ops. Talk about something that ruled. Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley minutes. Anyone?
The first 2 things I wrote down. Bobby Lashley, Joe, yes. Bobby Lashley, Powerhouse Hobbs, yes. Shelton Benjamin, Powerhouse Hobbs, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to start waving the flag here. Powerhouse Hobbs in the Continental Classic. Let's go.
And without question, that's my issue though. Like, this is just later on booking. When they do lose these titles, that's when Samoa Joe drops both of these guys, and then that's when we get our Willie Hobbs our Willie Hobbs run. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and I think he could do either. He could be heel or baby.
That's what I said.
As we've seen, yeah.
You could still do, and then Shibata. I mean, you could like put him in between, do his own thing.
Yeah, he's at this stage of his career. He's kind of plug and play, anyways. So all that works for me. I will also say this. I think heel Joe gets you the second Hook match.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He thought Hook was coming out tonight, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, so real fun match. A lot of just cool interactions too, which I not that I didn't expect. I guess I just didn't think about it. You know, like Shelton Benjamin and Powerhouse Hobbs, and then like Shelton Benjamin and Katsuyori Shibata. Tony Khan was just on Twitter saying like, "Yep, love this era of New Japan." I mean, they wrestled each other in the G1 a couple of times, I believe. Back when he was Shelton X Benjamin.
I remember that one. Like I remember
Yeah,
hearing about him in New Japan.
yeah, he was in Suzuki Gun, but
Yeah, that
yeah.
was one of my
So
favorite factions. Just because when I started watching New Japan, I loved Suzuki because he was just a psychopath.
I mean, they had dogs like
Well,
obviously.
they had my tag team, Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, and then later Dangerous Techers,
Yes,
El Desperado. That
and then
yeah,
Taka Michinoku, wasn't he in
yeah,
that?
Taka.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know some of my stuff.
dude, Suzuki Gun Ichiban.
Suzuki Gun Ichiban.
Just a bit of Joe, like just fully being a shithead now. Just put the kibosh on the meat chance right away.
That had me dying laughing. He put the shirt on him and he said, "Nope."
Nope. Yeah, you're nope, not giving you what you want. Really fun opener though. I mean, you're always kind of thinking, Joe turning heel or the ops just done, but they're gonna just continue as a heel unit for now.
And it's fine. It works. I mean,
I wouldn't have been mad though with the Hurt Syndicate trios run. I just don't think MVP's gonna want to wrestle that often.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's older. I mean, he didn't take that many bumps in the pay-per-view match. He didn't really. I don't recall him being in much in this match, other than he took the cookie and clutch.
Yeah.
Uh, but then the demand come out again.
Yeah, distraction finish. I mean, what do you do for a blow off now? Because you've already had like two matches with no rules.
Yeah,
Have we gotten a Ricochet Lashley singles?
can't recall.
That'd be a ton of fun.
Like,
But
that's what I'm saying. Where do you go from here? Other than MVP turning on Lashley and
you
Shelton
see,
Benjamin.
I want AEW to go the Dragon Gate route. I don't know if they do it with this feud, but like AEW's got to do a unit disbands match, like losing unit disbands.
But see, I don't think they'll do that just for the simple fact of I feel like AEW is basing a lot of their stuff off like New Japan style or even just Japanese. I don't know if it's just Japanese style in general of stables, like stable wars situation. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I mean,
because everyone has to be in a stable or everyone has to be linked up or it's
yeah. I'm just looking at the kind of landscape now, and I'm like thinking, what's the end game? Excuse me. What's the end game with like the Death Riders thing, for example? I'm like, man, like they just don't have a. I don't think they have a babyface unit. The conglomeration is very loose, like
yeah.
it's there and then it's not, and everyone's doing their own thing. But I'm like, man, if they had like a really hot babyface faction, and you do like blood and guts, but if you lose, your faction's done.
Yeah.
Like that would be that's like huge stakes, but I don't think I don't know why they haven't done that before with how many like because the thing is even with like Dragon Gate for example that whole promotions is based around factions like even more New Japan, but then you just rotate and you form new ones. But otherwise, fun match. Joe promo after the match was hilarious. The thing though that was weird about this was that they framed it as that Hanger was selling the beatdown from a Saturday, but he was in the building for the collision taping.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the beginning of the.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, he was like. Yeah, he was in like the trainer's room or some shit. I don't know if that was.
I believe that was filmed supposed to be like after the title
okay.
match. Yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't on the night.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if that was like on the night or if that was like at the PPV, but
Yeah,
yeah, I noticed that is. It's like, oh yeah, he really sold it for a couple of days there, but hey, it's fine. I mean, looks like we're gonna get another match. I mean, but it's gonna be stepped up, right? Where do you go from? I don't know. It just like we said, we feel like we're just relying on the same feuds for now, for the time being.
yeah, but like I said, I think they got more in the tank here, so I'm not too upset.
Also my theory with the Death Riders is we'll get into it later, but like I feel like I have an idea of how they break up, and I can explain it better when we get to it when we get to the match later on, the Mox match.
Yeah, I had the. I'm gonna edit this out. I had the recap up and not the live blog, so all my shit was out of order.
Well, right now it's
Let me find the live blog. Yep, got it. Okay, all right,
we're
we're
at
back on
the
track.
Paquette interviewing stat, but we don't got it.
Yeah, nothing there. I mean, this was fine. Challenge accepted, match is official.
It's very segment heavy for the next couple minutes here.
But when stats like have a nice celebration, that was kind of okay. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you'll see me out there.
Hmm.
And then it was right into the Darby Allin.
Kind of a weird one, just with how short it was. But this was basically implying blood and guts.
Yeah, because he said he would die for this company.
Yeah, and as long as the Death Riders are kicking, he's not gonna be far behind. Have Pac and Orange Cat, or excuse Pac and Orange Cassidy wrestled a couple weeks ago. Have Pac and Darby Allin had a singles?
Recently, I don't think so. And if they have ever, I don't know. But
Let me look.
yeah, as far as I know, in as long as it's probably not here because Pac's been injured like every other week. I know
They've had one match, and it was
Evo.
pre-pandemic,
Yeah, that was a long time.
January 15th, 2020. So I think I would run that because I mean I'm never going to complain about Darby Mox, Darby Claudio. I don't think Darby and Mox should have a singles match for a while after they blew it off.
I feel like yeah, he's gonna run the gauntlet. You know,
Yeah, but I think Darby Pack that's fresh. Like it's literally only happened once, and I would take a wild guess saying majority of your audience right now either hasn't seen it and we didn't even remember it. So like,
and it would make sense since Pac was the one to viciously just rape or assault him in that prison. I don't know how he got into prison. By the way, how did he get in there?
yeah, yeah. So
Low security.
yeah, I don't know if you do that as a build-up match if it is blood and guts, but I mean you can even run that on pay-per-view if you're just doing Darby Allin versus Death Riders. Like just still, there's a lot of interesting matchups there. But yeah, strange for how short this was, but more to come. I'll put it like that. Then Jungle Boy promo, I was fine with this, but they made it clear that they're just back to being a tag team and they're shooting for the top, as every babyface tag team should. Every tag team should just want to be the champs, you know?
Keep doing a countdown to extinction. You'll do it. It's my new favorite
Yeah.
tag team finish.
Yeah. Speaking of tag team champions,
This
I
was
thought
weird.
it was strange. Yeah, yeah. And also, why must they insist? Like, I thought we were beyond doing the women's four ways. Now we did it in a tag team match.
All right. The four way wasn't the problem for me. The
Hmm.
stipulation was the issue.
Yeah, because you're gonna be wrestling in a tournament. Why are you
Like,
doing it now?
well, like you're gonna be wrestling in a tournament. You could pick your winner, but you didn't announce who was in the tournament.
Yeah, it was like bracket reveal, and they didn't do the bracket reveal. Did they even do it on TV? 'Cause I just saw it on Twitter after the show.
They did it later, like
Okay.
after I forgot when it was, but even I forgot. I forgot. It might have been Excalibur. Even said like, uh, we don't even know who is in a tournament yet, and yeah, we don't know who's in a tournament yet. So how does the winner get to pick who they want to face?
Yeah, that's. I would have just at least shown like announced the lineup ahead of time,
Say
but
the winner of this gets a bye in the tournament. That would have
that
been
works for me. That
like oh they punch their ticket in and automatically get a bye. You know, boom. That made more sense. It was just a very convoluted way to get there.
yeah. But Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, which that's a team that we didn't know we needed, but we need it now.
That finishing move they did, jeez Louise.
Yep.
But shout out to my girl Willow doing the pounds.
Yeah.
Because that's heading. And also,
We need
Harley
Caprice
Cameron.
Coleman. Caprice Coleman to scream it though.
We need Caprice Coleman to come
Yeah.
rap the Willow rap, you know?
Yeah.
Also, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale was not a team I also needed. I didn't think I needed, but I'm here for it.
But they're like the feel good team, you know?
I feel like they might go a little bit farther than expected.
Yeah, yeah, because I think there's all kind of things you could do with there. Otherwise, in this match was Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I think they should go pretty far in the actual tournament, but they were just kind of there in this one. Uh, and then obviously Sisters of Sin. Aminata and Jamie Hayter win this, and they still wanna. They're still in this feud with the Triangle of Madness or whatever they're calling themselves, and then that's going to be their opening round. fine match. I mean, some of the interactions were cool, but I think this was more to just get the names and faces out there and like start building up for this tournament.
Yeah. Which later on we find out the actual bracket, so that's fun.
Yeah, I got a little worried when I saw this next segment, which was
Yeah.
the Bucks outside of Tony Khan's office. Not that, I mean, with Tony Khan being on TV, it's fine. I just don't want him involved in matches. But they're doing another money match, and it's just okay. It's a 4v4. But anytime I see FTR and the Bucks on screen, I'm like, no, like we did this. But at least this time, them teaming isn't the publicity stunt after Punk got fired.
Yeah, no, this was more of a they're both go or FTR wants to tag belts and needs some money, I guess. But Stoke giving them $1 had me dying laughing for no reason. I don't know why that was.
Yeah. On paper, though, you want to talk PWG match this Saturday? TR Young Bucks, Jet Speed, Jurassic Express. That should be a lot of fun.
I tuned into that one first.
Yeah. Yep. And I told my brother, I was like, wait. I go, Stokely and the Broke Bucks, something's going to happen here.
All right, something's going to be funny. It's going to be funny as shit.
He sure did. He gave him $1 because you need this more than me.
I feel like something else is. We ain't done with that yet. It's going to be funny.
Yeah.
This point too long.
Yeah, and we don't got to go through all of it, but just this 12 belts celebration, and you kind of figured Mercedes was going into the cake. And they did it. Puppet stuff, whatever. I just feel like, why are you doing it if you're not teaming?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you obviously knew Stat was going to probably be I thought Stat was going to be the one under there. I didn't think Harley Cameron was under there at all. But we knew Stat was going to probably come out, ruin it. I mean, it was a good visual of her going into the cake. But a little bit too long of a segment. But it was okay. I'm not nitpicking anything with that.
Yeah, more importantly, though, because we could just talk about it now, Athena was waiting for her backstage.
Yeah.
So not only do we get Athena back on AEW television, she just took a break in general. Like, she wasn't doing Ring of Honor. She was just taking time off. And they have inserted themselves into this tag team tournament, which is very exciting. And the first round matchup is Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron against Mercedes Moné and Athena. I'm not sure when that match is happening exactly, but that's really good booking simply because Willow has tremendous chemistry with both of those ladies. And I think Athena and Mercedes are both experienced enough to get the best out of Harley Cameron.
And Harley Cameron is just improving every week to me. I don't know about you, but I like her. Like, she's a good character on screen. She's funny. She's actually getting better in the ring a little bit.
Yeah, I know this match was a long time ago too, but like, I like the Mercedes Harley Cameron match.
Yeah, like Mercedes as good as best. She gets a lot of grief on the internet, but she will bring out the best in whoever she's wrestling.
Yeah, she gets the assignment. And hey, after all week, people did nothing but like throw dirt on her. This whole segment was designed for her to eat shit.
Oh yeah,
and she did it with grace.
She did it with grace, and also shut up. She came out in it came out to Selena in a CMLL and dressed in a Selena inspired wrestling gear.
That gear was awesome.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. The only thing though, because like CMLL didn't pay for the licensing.
They had to.
They overdubbed it, so she's like dancing to a different song. But that's still a very, very cool thing to do. So yeah, she's on a good run, and I know people ask why should I care if she has these belts of promotions that I've never heard of. I think the best example is the belt she won on Sunday in Winnipeg. They were like they like tweeted like obviously people were going to come see Mercedes wrestle, but they go, there are people in this city who love wrestling that just didn't know that our promotion existed until this was announced.
That's why and that's what I'm saying. Like, she's literally going to promotions no one heard about to make them known, like, and it's awesome. I mean, I don't mind her I don't care, like, she's doing the Ultimo one day. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. I mean, paying homage to one of the greats.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got nothing wrong with it.
The only thing I didn't like, she used the word mark too many times for me in her promo.
Yeah, keep that off TV. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's inside baseball type of situation, but.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but I'm with you on there. The one that worked for me is that clip of Raven where it's like, what a mark.
Yeah, that's the best one. Classic WCW right there. I remember, not to get off topic, I remember like watching WC. I just like started from the beginning or something, just had it on as background noise or something. And I got to that episode and I went, no fucking way. I said,
Yeah.
oh, it's here.
So like, did you start with like when they broke off from the NWA or like
So
when they
I just did Nitro,
Nitro?
like
Okay, okay,
95.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
say
like this was a
it
while
lines
ago
up.
too. Yeah, when the network
Yeah,
still had all the good stuff on there.
yeah.
I would start at like 95 and then like just keep going on. And then I got to like when Raven got there. And what a mark. And I said, oh, yes.
That's classic.
I want to say that might have been even Thunder, actually. That might have been a Thunder. I don't know. That might have not even been a Nitro.
It wouldn't surprise me. So, this is very unlike me. I did not catch the Moxley promo. Mill was telling me something, and I said I got to go back and watch this. I never did, but the vibe I got was like Moxley's like, "Yep, I quit, but I'm just gonna get like I'm still the best. Nobody outworks me. Like I'm gonna get my lick back."
Yeah, he more or less just said, like, I'm still the ace. You're not.
Yeah,
But you
he
could
is
tell
too.
it.
Like he just is.
You could just tell now he's wrestling a different style, though.
Dude, this was so awesome. People because people might not attribute character work with John Moxley and they get it completely wrong because of matches like this. This was Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly, which they had a really awesome match in like 2022 before Kyle got hurt. He had the concussion, but this was fine. I'm kind of watching it like, all right, something's up here, and you walk away from this one just with thinking about the finish though, where he gets a rope break, but he's so fucking shook from tapping out the Hangman and quitting on Darby that he goes, "I'm not even messing with this," and just blasts the ref in the nuts.
Yeah. Uh,
It's so good.
it was just
I don't know.
so funny.
I don't know where they go with this, but like Mox just totally losing his mind now is so awesome to watch.
Punched Paul Turner directly in the face.
Yeah, and that's normally an angle to where somebody is written off.
Yeah, so I
So I
said,
don't know
not
about
Paul
that.
Turner.
AEW usually say, we find him a ton of money, but you could suspend him for that is a suspendable offense. But he's John Moxley. I feel like that the rules don't really apply to him as far as like who's going to tell him no. But conglomeration coming out and then it parlaying into the 6-man tells me though that this is blood and guts.
Yeah, absolutely. Conglomeration
And Darby.
Darby, right? Yep, which makes sense. And I'm just thinking of Ishii in a blood and guts match.
Yeah, and you could even swap him out if you had to.
Hey, you don't need to. You don't need to. Okay, you could put him in it.
I'm not against it by any means. I just mean like if he doesn't want to do it at his age.
I want to see it. I mean, damn, you threw Tanahashi in a fucking crazy ass cage match. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's true. That's true. Despite I mean Ishii's always walked like that, so there's no concern there.
Yeah,
But
he's always walked like he's from Easter Island, bro. Come on, bro.
this was probably my match of the night.
The main event.
Claudio, Daniel Garcia, and that's not a bad choice by any means either. I actually did really like that match too. Roddy, though, man, once again came away just being like, holy fuck, Roderick Strong's one of the best to ever do it. Conglomeration tags are foolproof. What you have here now is a foil with the Death Riders. And look at the names here, man. It's like Claudio, one of the best tag wrestlers to ever do it. Roddy, who also has a very underrated tag catalog. Mark Briscoe, what do I have to say there? And then Orange Cassidy is one of the most consistent TV wrestlers there is, and on the other side you got Garcia and Yuta, who are finally getting like significant minutes on television to just not even hone their craft, but just to remind people of who they are. This was such an awesome, no bullshit 6-man to where like they hit that party match energy, but it didn't feel like it was just but it was still like serious and heated, you know?
Yeah,
I love this match.
Oh, I loved it, and it bled right into my match of the night, so it was fine. Or not bled, but it leads into my match.
Yeah,
So it's just like the matches on this card tonight were really good. So it's just like something about it, I don't know, seemed off. A lot of like the promos seemed off, like the Darby one seemed off.
Yeah. Also, Mark Briscoe getting his win back, not getting his win back, but like getting a win to heat him up again, huge.
And then Pac said, "Enough of this shit."
Yeah, Pac coming out to which they booked Pac Ishii on Saturday, which like Hell yeah, definitely we'll be checking that out.
They said he's like, let's make this for the boys.
And he goes, you guys gotta stop talking about not watching Collision. So
Yeah.
start watching it
Start
every
watching
week.
it. We got 2 bangers happening right now. Come on, bro.
Let me rephrase that. I watched Collision, but like 6 months after it airs.
We get to it. It's there.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'm all about this because again, too, this is your blood and guts lineup. It's like if even if you frame it as like Team AEW versus Death Riders, like Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, like yeah, those are your kind of flag bearers. So Mark Briscoe, I think you can at this point you can get in there too. He just needs a little bit more on the booking end, but too many good names and faces for me to not be into this stuff. So as much as I was kind of poo-pooing the idea of doing 2 blood and guts matches, I think sneakily this might be the best lineup for one that they've done.
It's a sleeper lineup for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because when you get to it, Yuta will gladly be on the receiving end of some disgusting stuff in the actual match. So don't take him as like the oddball there. After all that commotion, Protostar promo, Briscoe comes back out, setting up their next match. It hasn't been confirmed, but Mark Briscoe's kind of doing the if I can't beat you, then what am I thing. So I don't know if that'll be some sort of career versus title stip, but I don't think Mark Briscoe's retiring anytime soon. So belt him up.
I feel like it's if you can't beat us, join us situation.
Oh, that too.
Because he did say it's like a financial burden with all his kids at home, you know?
Yeah.
So
retirement, putting your career at stake. That doesn't line up with that. Now, I'm thinking here they've only had singles matches, no stips, no nothing. Just time limits have been different between tournament time limit, title time limit. Do they do ladder war for this?
I don't think so.
You do 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a pinfall because you want Mark Briscoe to get that pinfall victory.
Yeah.
So
I
feel like and I feel like if he can't pin him, I feel like that's counterproductive what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna have a stip, you're gonna have something crazy, or like not crazy, but there's something.
Yeah. Because honestly, like if it would be their 7th match of just straight up singles matches. That's kind of unheard of in this day and age.
Because like how they could twist that 2 out of 3 falls would be, Callis saying like, you can't beat me. You can't beat him once. You have to beat him twice to get the belt, kind of thing. Because you can't,
good point.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so I feel like there's something more to it. We're just not there yet. Tony and Mina hyping up the tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the whole thing.
I don't think so.
I don't know if that would be. I don't know if that would be my choice.
My pick is Top Gods.
Yeah, I think Top Gods get to the final. I feel like they have to.
It's either Top Gods or Babes of Wrath or whatever their names are.
Yeah, but I think putting Tony and Mercedes in this tournament really elevates it, and Athena for that matter. Excited to see it. Tony and Mina though as a team makes perfect sense. Again, really efficient stuff on the pay-per-view to get to this point, even if the matches kind of suffered from it. But yeah, no complaints here as far as them as a team. Main event time. Kazuchika Okada gets his pinfall back on Bandito for the unified title. This was like textbook Okada match structure. And Bandito had this room in the palm of his hand.
This match kicked ass.
Yeah.
I just I knew the outcome was gonna be, I mean, they could have fooled me, but it was good though. I liked it. I fuck with this.
Yeah, the things that really worked for me though were in the later stage. Like I do think, because again, with a lot of Okada's big matches, you could trim 5-10 minutes, especially in the rudimentary work in the beginning. But man, those cutoffs when they really got going, like when Okada starts. Like, everybody gangsta until Okada starts pulling the drop kicks out of his ass, how he was doing here.
Yeah. What was the one spot? There was a spot the Frankenstein? No, that wasn't it. There was something that I was like, when he was trying to do the X knee.
Yeah.
And he's fucking the spinning back fist. I was like, Jesus. But I need this one more time. Run it back. Run this back for me and have the Bandito win it this time, though. Like, thanks.
I absolutely love the finish of Okada just taking 2 steps back, so there's that gap between him and the ropes.
Yeah.
And hey, to AEW's credit, they shot it perfectly too. they were like almost parallel to the canvas, so it's like you saw the space and it's just you know what's coming and you can't avoid it. Really well done. But yeah, this was one of my favorite Okada performances in a long time. I think he's been on a really nice run, and that's why I started putting it all together. That Okada's getting back in his bag for this Takeshita match, and that's very exciting because again, with the way he left New Japan, he did not have a good track record of working with the younger guys. But he
Yeah.
seems like he's really, really, really busting his ass now. So yeah, a lot of fun. I think this again, it's such an Okada match, but Bandito's going to be like on that totem of top baby faces in the company within a couple of months. If he
Absolutely.
already isn't. Like,
I
yeah,
already
this was
said
a really cool match.
I already said a couple of times, like Bandino's in my running for my wrestler of the year, just because like
Yeah,
his run has been nuts.
yeah. I don't think you're alone in that. I think he's turned a lot of heads this year, and it's something that we all kind of figured would happen. He just needed to be healthy and not wrestling Chris Jericho.
And he needed to get
So
out of that vortex.
once he did, it was like, dude, it's been full steam ahead for him since the spring. So,
I heard that vortex is going back home, so go that way, go that way.
but yeah,
But yeah, this match ruled. That then the ending was awesome because it's on site.
yeah. Takeshita ain't like he knows what it is. So I mean, it's looking like full gear for at least their first match.
Yeah, which is
So
really like you double belt the Kestra right now. You double belting him up, or do you wait till he loses that the IWGP? Because I don't know when he's due to face anybody.
He's defending it against Goto at Power Struggle. Let's see, let me find out the date. Good old NJPW
Greatest website name with the
Super Junior Tag League's going on right now. I got to tap in. They actually got a handful of Dragon Gate guys in Junior Tag League right now. You can also get Takeshita Great Press as champion. Major match for Tanahashi's final homecoming. Yeah, oh, shit. It's like soon, like next the like November 2nd. So yeah, he's defending against Goto, which I wouldn't be surprised if Goto win. I mean, Goto's like the de facto ace right now. He's just the only reason why he lost the belt is because he got hurt. So I don't know. I think it could go either way, and don't put it past Okada to do a time limit draw.
yeah.
AW is selective with time limit draws, and I don't think they rarely ever do it on pay per view. I don't know if they do it for the first match, and I don't think that the IWGP will be involved because I don't know if New Japan wants Okada around that right now. But I think the twist here is that if you do it for the unified title, there can't be anybody at ringside, so no Don Callis family.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The Continental, the rules are different.
Yeah, no seconds, as they say. No managers, no teammates, just down the middle, just pro wrestling. So yeah, interesting developments there. Again, yeah, a lot of retreaded feuds, but I don't necessarily feel too bad about them.
No, especially if it's leading into Blood and Guts, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And if it's leading into Full Gear, it makes sense. You said we only have two pay per views left, so it's just kind of like stick to what works for the time being, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they wind down their year because they said that I think they said when they do the Dynamite in England in like mid to late December, that's when the tournament's going to start. The tournament isn't starting on the Thanksgiving show. So I don't know how that's going to look or what's going to change, but for this current pay-per-view cycle, I'm kind of just riding this out because I think there is some good stuff on the table, but it is always weird how you have that stopgap with Blood and Guts. But keep it locked here. We're going to talk about all these developments as long as I'm around, but we'll talk about that next week. Other than that, yeah, I had a lot of fun with this TV. Good time with the pay-per-view, just obviously too long. I think we're on the same page there. But pushing hour 45, I think that's a really solid chunk there. But do you got anything else on the world of wrestling for this week?
I have nothing. I did check out that John Cena AJ Styles match from like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Shout out, that match was actually pretty good. And shout out to AJ Styles rocking the shorts.
yeah, I did see that, and I have it down on my list. I will check it out eventually.
It was pretty good. A lot of good callbacks. Good match. I mean, I don't really watch much of WWE, but I saw good things about that, so I tuned in. Me and my kid were watching it, so pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty solid.
it's crazy to think he's done soon.
That's it.
I don't know what. I mean, he's obviously only has a couple dates left, but so I don't know what his Survivor Series match is, but I hope it's Dom. I would love that.
I'm interested to see because they haven't really said anything much else, because they only got like 4 days, 3 days, I don't know, something, 4 days left.
Dude, it's literally like Survivor Series, the Boston Raw,
and then the Saturday night's main event, right?
The DC show. I think that's it. He might have one more TV other than that, but it's
That's
like
crazy that they didn't make that Boston Raw his last one since it's his home.
It was supposed to be. Like the Saturday night's main event was supposed to be in Boston, I'm pretty sure, and they got like outbid or something. I mean, TKO loves their money, but
I don't know, is AEW running a show that day in that same town or something?
No. So the word is that they were like worried about that, but WWE's got in the habit. They run Boxing Day at Madison Square Garden every year now. So, like, that is a Friday. So they're running Boxing Day. SmackDown's going to be taped Saturday the 27th, World's End. Cena would be done before that. But, yeah, I don't know. I got some WWE stuff on my watch list here and there that I'll parachute into. But, yeah, I'm not tapped in at the moment. I saw that they're running Punk Jey Uso for the world title, and it's just like, what do I have to do to see Punk wrestle somebody not Seth Rollins or from the Bloodline?
Well, you don't gotta worry about Seth Rollins for a while.
Yeah, which sucks, but hey, the spot was cool. I saw that.
Braun Breaker speared the dog shit out of him, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Why didn't Punk Braun Breaker, man?
I don't know why he doesn't put the belt on Braun Breaker. Because, I mean, you already got a shoe. You're already, pivoting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Triple H using Chat GPT to book now, so who the fuck knows?
Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, same person.
Well, you got anything to plug?
I got nothing, my friend.
Oh, neither do I. But keep it locked here for next week. Maybe DPW catch up.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll definitely, because I ain't got nothing going on. I'll be able to dive in.
We got Carolina Classic and Super Battle. I believe that airs on Sunday.
Oh, I need to see that Super Battle.
Yeah, so I think it could be, we could just kind of just general thoughts and ISO any matches that we really liked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to do DPW catch up given that it's their biggest show and before my impending excursion. Again, more on that next week. But until then, if you got this far in the show, thank you so much for listening. For Steve and for Chris, we'll talk to you again next time.
See ya.